Wider reading is our next Talk for Writing Tango taster, and this is the best one in my opinion because it means that we get to read lots of different books. Of course, each of these are going to relate in some way to the sheep and the goats, so it's going to be books about wolves, it's going to be thinking about the sheep, it's going to be thinking about the building and so on. But it's going to be a case of trying to find different types of text that look at different narrative aspects in different ways. The By Colbert's recommendation is to look at Emily Gravett's book Wolves and another one called Wolf That Won't Bite. So we are going to check those out, but from my perspective I'd like to check it out in a way that allows us to use a collaborative approach using different iPad devices that can then send stuff back and forth to the board. What we're going to start with though is a bit like the previous video. Rather than make a load of content in advance, I just want to be able to have a blank page, minimise and go to something like the BBC Earth website that talks about 8 surprising facts about wolves that you didn't know. Scroll through it just the same way as the previous video did, taking notes from the toolbar or just snapping stuff and bringing it through. It's good because it gives us a chance to use a lot of the online resources that might be interactive in doing this, but again it's a bit of a whole class approach, and that's not what I want to be doing here. So good idea, good start. The second one is the Emily Gravett's website. It's a really nice website with a lot of interactive elements to it. The wolves part of the website in particular brings in some activities like a dot to dot. By pressing download here, it will bring something to my download file, which if I'm in Tango and go to the file and the downloads part, it's going to bring it in as a PDF, and over here, open it up. We can then play that dot to dot game to understand what animal is reading the book. It's pretty obvious I think, but at the same time it's nice to be able to draw it. But again, it's a more collaborative exercise that's towards the board rather than towards the books that kids will be reading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that for now. I'm going to leave this page as it is. I'm going to grab my iPad and I'm going to show you what the collaboration in effect will do. By going to a live view, everything that's going to appear on here will also appear on here. That's because I've used the collaboration feature, QR coded up, and I now have everything mirrored. I've also got my own space to do work. So let's say I had the Wolves book in front of me and I'm reading it. I get to a specific page I like and I take a photo of what I'm reading. So you might be able to see that pretty well from where you are. There's a bit of words here, picture of the background, and I've got my Tango tools around the side of the space as well. The narrative in this goes, wolves eat mainly meat. They hunt large prey such as deer, bison and moose. They also enjoy smaller mammals like beavers, voles and, now like before when we had the dot to dots, you can pretty much guess what this is. I'm going to write it though. So by pressing the pen, choosing a colour we can see quite well, I'm going to write that it is a rabbit, and I'm going to write it there. So the kids could be reading the books, taking snapshots, like I say, then adding stuff to it. Once they've added stuff to it, there is a little paper aeroplane button that if they press, it will then send the image into Tango. So depending on the speed of your internet, it will come up in the corner there.